Good morning. I did something today that happens very rarely. I didn't get out of bed until about 20 after 4. uh, I woke up actually uh, to something. I don't remember what time it was. I didn't go to bed till just about midnight. And you'll understand why when I get into the blurb today and the description of what happened last night. The title is 2012. Tim Turner is President of the Republic. I was not going to bring up the Republic for a while after recent videos on this subject. However, I was surprised to get a call from Jeanine Stewart yesterday afternoon to see if I was willing to be one of the featured guests on the weekly Republic Roundtable Call that is open to the public. That call was last night. I encourage all detractors to listen for themselves as soon as it is posted. At times, I was nearly in tears as President Turner addressed the listeners. He is the right man to do this job. That is my strong conviction. I was caught totally by surprise when Jeanine called me yesterday afternoon. She had finished listening to the report that I did, the commentary that I did on the David Wilcock interview with Drake, in which I commented heavily about the criticism that Drake issued to the Republic and to Tim Turner. And that basically was the key subject in last night's roundtable call, which is why they asked me to be on as one of the guests and why I accepted. Not only was I given the opportunity to explain my experience and my position, Donna, and I think her last name is Kozak or something like that, from Nebraska. I'm familiar with her name because she was one of the trainers of the ambassadors last year, and it was her training, from my perspective, that caused a lot of the problems here in Florida and in other states where ambassadors thought that they were more powerful than the governor of the states, and there was a lot of controversy, and the Republic has actually removed the position of ambassador, at least at the state level. Perhaps it will be reinstated at some point at the national level, I'm not sure. In any case, I was equally thrilled by listening to Donna. I mean, she was so well prepared. I mean, the piece that she read, the email response that she read, brought tears to my eyes, as well as listening to Tim Turner a little bit later in the conference call. But when Tim Turner came on, I mean, folks, I'm telling you, if you listen to the man, I don't know how anybody can possibly think that some of the things that he's been accused of are accurate. He has actually opened an investigation in which he's invited his detractors to bring the physical evidence, bring the proof, bring the documentation of the things that he is supposed to have done that are incorrect according to his accusers, bring them out into the public. And this has been, I think it was 10 months ago that he did this. And to this date, as he stated last night, not a single piece of evidence has come forward. What has come forward is accusations on emails of people saying, this is what I think, and this is what I've experienced, etc. But nobody has brought actual documentation that confirms any wrongdoing on the part of President Turner. And I know I had a video earlier, a few days back, in which I suggested that Tim Turner invite Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich to become standard bearers basically for the Republic. But after listening to last night's call, I'm convinced that Tim Turner is exactly the person, the individual, the man who is gifted to hold that position and to reestablish the Republic. Even more so than Ron. I'd love to see Ron Paul and Dennis Kucinich and a lot of people that are in the de facto that I believe have integrity. I'd love to see them on board in the Republic. I would like that tremendously. And perhaps at some point they will be able to contribute to the restoration of the Republic. But for right now, I do believe the hand of God is upon President Turner and many people in the Republic. And that brings up an interesting question that I was asked more than once yesterday and over the past period of time. And that regards, is the Republic a theocracy? Are they trying to establish a theocracy? And I think there are people, and this has been my answer, I think there are people in the Republic that don't understand. They don't understand the importance of what a republic actually is and why it cannot be established. Tim Turner gets it. I've heard him say, and I've even shared, I think, some quotes of his, that we cannot be a theocracy. A theocracy and a republic are not the same thing. A theocracy is a dictatorship of a religious viewpoint. And that can never happen, even though many people in the Republic are Christians and some of them are fundamentalists. Many of them maybe even are fundamentalist Christians. And you all know, if you've been listening to for any period of time, that to me, the fundamentalist Christian viewpoint is very narrow-minded and very unloving. I tried to make that clear last night, that love is the key. Love is the key to everything in the transformation that's happening on earth right now. Love is the key that's going to make all the things work and succeed. Love is the key that's going to bring the kingdom, restore the kingdom of heaven on earth, which I believe the Republic is part of that restoration. I believe the Republic is the vision that was given to our forefathers in the 19th century when they established the Constitution of the United States. And Tim made it very clear last night that the Articles of Confederation were superseded by the Constitution. And that is the law of the land. And he made an extremely interesting point, that the military takes an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, not the nation states, not the independent sovereignty movements, where each state and individuals try to do their own thing, as Drake is talking about. And Donna brought up an extremely, extremely important thing about Drake, which when she was saying it, I thought, yeah, I thought the same thing, but I've never said it before. But I'm saying it now. Drake is probably a pseudonym. It's not his real name. We don't know his real name. We don't know what he looks like. We don't know who he is. Here's this man making these bold claims with David Wilcock and on the Freedom Reigns broadcast with I forgot her name right now too, Terry Hinkle. He's making all of these claims, but we don't even know who this person is. He's still anonymous. And Tim Turner, his name has been out there in the public from the beginning. He has taken accusation after accusation after accusation from detractors over many years. And especially over the past year to 2 years. He has taken, and as he said, he says, I don't have any ego left. Listen to the man. Listen to the humility. Listen to the wisdom that he shares. Hear what he has to say. People say that people have said from a spiritual perspective that Obama is the one that was set in place to right the wrongs of this nation and the world. Well, bring forth the fruit. If for those of you that think that that's true, let Obama bring forth the fruit that proves that he's anything other than a charlatan playing a sick game with the world's elite. Tim Turner offers a real alternative. And I still honor Ron Paul. I still honor Dennis Kucinich. I think they are men of integrity. And I think there are a relative handful of others that are in the de facto government that do have integrity, that do have intentions of speaking the truth. And I believe that there are people all over this nation that really want to know the truth. They really want to hear the truth about what we've been told and the lies that we've been told. One of the reasons I think that, and I've said this before on some of my other videos, Christians need to realize that their religion and their understanding of Christianity has been tampered with the same as everything else in our culture. Nothing has come down to us in its pure state. I have said many times that Christianity is a non-Christian religion because the teachings of Jesus are not followed. And one lady came on the call last night toward the end of the call when it was opened up to questions and answers, or Q&A. And she said, love is important, but truth is more important, is basically what I heard her saying. Now I may be twisting it a little bit there, and when you get to listen to the audio, you'll be able to determine for yourself. And I understand where she's coming from when she was quoting that Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. That narrow-minded position is misunderstood. I've claimed that, and I will continue to claim that. Nobody comes to the Father but by Christ, but Christ is in all of us. Christ is all and in all. That is the message to me that Jesus left us. And how shall people know that they understand that message, that the divine is in them? Well, when they love one another, and not just those that agree with them. That's what's wrong with the world's religions. People think that, well, we're Baptists and we have the right interpretation of Scripture. We know what it's all about. And Robert, who was the host and moderator last night, Jeanine Stewart is the producer of the weekly roundtable, but Robert is the host and moderator, and he made the point of various Christian denominations that have been fighting among themselves for years because they don't get the idea that the divine is in all of us. That's a difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is mysticism based on personal experience and a personal relationship with the divine, with the Christ that is in you, that's alive now, that transcends even the historical Jesus or Yeshua, or however you want to say, the character that came on the scenes 2,000 years ago, that is seen by many as the Son of God and others as a prophet. And I think he was the Son of God, but I think we're all sons and daughters of God. Jesus was not saying, I'm special, put me on a pedestal. He was saying, the things that I do, you shall do also, and greater things than these shall you do. And this is the time. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we've got to see the Christ that's in us, and let that Christ come alive with the love that is the love of God, that is shed abroad in our hearts, that is everlasting to everlasting. That is the truth that endures to all generations. That is the truth that sets people free. That is the truth that is the foundation upon which the Republic and all true government is built. The government is upon the shoulders of that divine principle, the Christ principle, the divine within the creation, making the creation come alive, making the creation awaken, making the creation powerful and enriched, making the creation beautiful and vibrant instead of the distortions we've experienced throughout history and throughout especially our lifetimes as we've watched the beast come alive and put its tentacles into every aspect of our lives. The Republic is the restoration of truth. Some will see, and as they as they listen, they will see that so many people in the Republic are God-centered and Christ-centered and prayer-centered. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it can get out of hand when those principles are held in a narrow-minded way that stops people from really understanding that Christ is love, because God is love. The Father is love, not the vengeful, wrathful God that the Old Testament cried out to fear God. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. That's not true. Fear does not bring forth love. Fear is the antithesis of love. It's the absolute antithesis. It is opposed to a loving heart, to a forgiving spirit, to a humility that has power. And Tim Turner demonstrated last night to me and to all that were on the call that have eyes to see and a heart to hear. And I mean heart to hear, not ears to hear. That he is and possesses that natural humility of being willing to be vulnerable and expose himself to the world and to take on the responsibility. If he has done something wrong, let him pay for the wrong that he has done. And he is willing to go on with David Wilcock or anybody. He made the invitation last night to go on with Terry. And he apologized to Terry. He learned that Terry feels that he wronged her. Well, he apologized. He doesn't know what he wronged her about, but he apologized to her last night. It's time to lay aside these differences and come together as a people around the world, because the Republic, as was said again last night, the Republic is even being restored in China. The communist country of China is giving way to Republic. It's happening in Germany. It's happening in other nations of the world, because the Republic is what's happening. It's the interim government that's going to lead us into the newness of life. And the constitutional principles, even with some of their inherent errors that were precipitated because of the consciousness of the time in the 19th century, that women couldn't vote, and that the slaves, that blacks were slaves and they couldn't own property and they couldn't. These are things that have been rectified in the reestablishment of the Republic. It's already happened. It's finished. It's done. Women are equals. Blacks are equals. Everybody's equals. And the people in the Republic need to understand that Muslims are equals and Hindus are equals and Buddhists are equals. We are all one people. We are all one family under the Creator, whatever you want to call the Creator. I don't have any problem with the word God. Some do, because even atheists are part of the Republic. Everybody's right to be an individual and express themselves, so long as it does not hurt somebody else. Everybody has the right to be the individual under God or in Christ or in the Creator. We are all part of one family in one creation. And I was so blessed to be on that call last night, to listen to various people talk about their experience with Tim Turner as I shared my personal experience. And once again, I'm going to close by saying that I am proud to be part of the Republic. I am proud of Tim Turner. I am proud of the people that have worked diligently to set this nation and this world aright. And I do believe and I do see the hand of God in all of this. And I bless each one of you, and you will be blessed as you open your mind and open your heart and open your eyes and open your ears and open your hands to serve one another, to love one another, as we have all been loved by our Creator from the beginning, that is manifesting now as the kingdom of heaven on earth and the Republic for all people to be free. Namaste.